Hi, everyone, again. Thank you for coming back here. This is JS Break with Mr. Bray Labs and our Inklings behind the scenes. So, my goodness, I am tired today. Have you ever had that where just your day starts and it just feels like, wow, this Monday has felt like a week. I had a long weekend, and I'm going to share a little bit about my weekend. I don't normally do that, but just because we're getting to know each other, we're friends now. My wife, she was having contraction-like symptoms, and we head to the hospital. And as you might be know, if you're aware, I have a little one on his way. He's supposed to be on his way in May, but there was a little bit of scare that he might be coming soon. And there's really no way you can predict these things sometimes. So we went to the doctors, and all that said, it was a long weekend. It was not very restful. So I'm a little tired today, but that doesn't mean that we aren't going to dive in. But I did not get as much things done as I was hoping to. And it's like all things. There's a fancy word that I thought I came up with called productivity dysmorphia, but it really is a fancy way of saying I think I get more done than I can. So today we're going to go back into a little more of the character animation stuff. We're going to do a little more lip sync and auditions, but I really want to kind of like limit this. This will be hopefully our last time that I show you how I'm building the lip syncs, and then the next stream or the next time I mention this, we're either going to be working on the Perfect Cat for Poe, we're going to be working on scripts or writing or character designs, something fresh, or we're just going to be grinding through auditions. So this will probably be the very last stream to showing you how I develop these live action or these audition cuts. So I just want to let you know that's what we're going to be most likely be doing. This will probably be the last time I show you the behind the scenes of the lip rig. So let's cut across through here. So as you know, we've been working inside this cool tool called Adobe Character Animator. And this tool is really great because it allows us to do live stream. It's not the only tool out there. There's a lot that does this, but in order to do this correctly, you have to actually have your software ducks in a row. So let me show you real quick. I'm going to show you. We have been designing this stuff inside of Adobe Illustrator. This is my silly little visage. This is me, or at least it looks like me. So um, make sure you can see me. But yeah, like this is what we do. We design the lips and the mouth and everything like that. And I want to do specifically, I'd like to do two people's voices. Last was it Friday? We were trying to do, I believe, Rachel Hansen and Abby Townsend auditions of two different characters. I believe Christy and Bronte. And so we're going to get into that. And we've been doing a lot of stuff with Kafka and with Poe. I'd like to break it up and have the ladies have the opportunity to share. So let's go just jump into those rigs right here. So let me go up here and we at the top. So we have we were that actually I apologize. This is Poe. We're going to close this. We're going to go to Christy. All right, so here's Christy. This is a little Christy character, but we have a rig, specifically a mouth rig for Christy. As you can see, it's all obviously a mess. That's how my mind works sometimes. It's a bit messy. Let's get here, go to Christy. Okay. And remember last time we broke this down to where we were just using the Kafka rig as a sample so we can see how that was going to look. All right, let's do this real quick. I'm going to show you again. Remember, we also talked about how we take these little designs. Let's zoom in because the way these characters are drawn, we have to go up here to Object and go to Path and then create Outline. So that way it allows us to scale the character. All right, and without looking kind of funky. All right, so she looks real nice. All right, let's bring her here. Da, da, da. So we are going to do something different about this Christy character. You can see our mouth is sort of crooked or in sort of a tilt. So that's going to give us some new challenges, which I hope that kind of gives you an idea of how we're kind of developing these things. So now let's take this little Kafka and delete it. So we're going to be doing for Christy, and we're going to be doing one for Bronte. All right, so let me close this one and just clean these up. It's a bit of a mess. Bit of a mess. My apologies. So let's get in here. This is our title card for today, but we're going to play around with Bronte. All right. Where is Bronte? Bronte's right up here. All right. All right. Now, Again, what you're going to do if you're going to if you're an illustrator and you're using like different types of lines, stuff like that, we have to make sure this scales right. Her lips look different, a lot different. So one of the things that I made about this particular Bronte character, that I'll make sure this is the right one. Bronte has sort of like those classic sort of feminine, like M shape to her lips. Let's see here. So we might have to go and change that a little bit. Also with Christy, we don't see the top of her lip. We see her sort of nose. So, there's no one size fits everything. So we're trying to find a size that fits a lot of things. So let's do this real quick. I'm going to take a copy of this, copy it over here. And it's always kind of nice because I like to think out loud. So like how am I going to break this up? So let's break this apart, ungroup, okay? And what we can do is we can take this mouth, I can delete it. Oops, I deleted too much. All right, so now if we were to just take this right here and put it right here, we know that the mouth here, this mouth is too large. So we can either make that mouth smaller or we can adjust things. I think it'd probably be good just to make her slightly larger, but I think we need to make them both uniform. You're going to see what I'm doing in just a moment. All right, let's go down here, take this Christie character, copy. Now we're going to delete it. We're going to go down here where we have the head shape, okay? And we're going to put this right here, okay? That's her, 3/4. Okay, I'm going to bring her all the way down here, okay? And this is where the Kafka character is. We're going to delete that. We're going to put him right where he is, okay? Delete. And we're going to put her here, just about here. Maybe, oops, maybe, you remember Shift O allows us to change some of the canvas size a little bit. All right, cancel. Okay, all right. This is good. Now, the mouths are all wrong. Okay, I'm going to lock this real quick. And for those who've been watching ready for us to just get running, well, I apologize. We're going to be running as fast. We're just going to just show you a little bit of this just so that it allows me the opportunity to kind of catch up. I had hoped to do this, really, I hope to do this over the weekend. So let's zoom in. Let's make this mouth a little bit smaller. Now, in her, the way her character looks, okay, these mouths don't just stick on like stickies, right? They actually have a design aesthetic to them, right? And her mouth here has this, there's a huge difference, right? It almost makes her look derpy here. So what we have to do is we have to go inside the character one more time, okay? We have to find out, why does her nose do this? Well, that's because her nose is actually in front of these lips. Okay, so I'm going to delete that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and then I'm going to add another layer. I'm going to layer it nose. And then I'm going to go Command Shift V on a Mac. Okay. And I do that on purpose. Okay. Command Shift V on a Mac. I'm going to bring the mouths behind this. Okay. And she's covering the eyes, right? So that's okay. That's okay. We can fix that because the eyes themselves, go copy, delete. Okay. We're going to do this again. And we're going to paste the eyes. So now they're looking close. There's still some awkwardness going on here. But one moment before we get into that, okay? I'm going to turn these mouths off for just a second. You can see they're starting to look kind of okay. They're kind of okay. But let's get back into this real quick. We're going to grab all these mouths at the same time. I'm going to lock these layers we're not using, okay? Lock them so you don't accidentally move everything about. Leave that. We have a reference image. Really, is what we're using that as for reference image. Okay, looks like the eyes are good. The nose, we need to lock the nose. Okay, we'll bring that right underneath there, and we're going to make it a little bit smaller. And we can adjust this a little bit later, but I'm just kind of showing you that way when we bring this character rig inside Adobe Character Animator, it's not jarring. And that's really what we're trying to do. Just trying to bring it in to where it's not jarring and it just looks somewhat right. It's sort of the way that you think out loud because each character is going to look different. This is our rough draft, okay? And again, my goal is probably not to be doing this. Really, this will be the last time you see me showing you how I do a mouth rig. because after that, you've already gone this far. But also it allows me the opportunity to play two people, catch up a little bit on some things that we're also working on. All right, so this is Christie's mouth, real quick. It doesn't have the nice little pink that we're going to have in that later. We're going to colorize that later. That'll be something I do possibly off screen. All right, so let's cut across real quick. I just want to kind of the reason why we're doing this, because the goal is I wanted to show two more voice actors, and then hopefully the next time we get together is just a string of voice actors after go one after the other, of listening to them, and then just cutting out their auditions and showing like maybe their face alongside to it. That just takes a little bit more work than perhaps doing it this way, and so because it takes more prep work, and I don't feel like it's not giving you as much behind the scenes. So we're just going to be reiterate, this is the last time we'll most likely be doing the character, the lip rigs. We will be probably working on eyelashes and arms and other gestures, but this is really what we're going to do. Something kind of a little on the work side, but that's okay. All right, so we have our mouth. She looks okay. Now let's see if we can bring this into our software. I'm going to cut across real quick. Uh, let's see if we can bring her in. Now remember, we're using Adobe Character Animator. So when we cut back over to Adobe Character Animator, how do we bring that in? We bring that in through, let's see here, File, Import, and then let's find her. Let's find Kafka. I believe I have a bit of a mess. Okay, so you're luckily not looking at my mess right now, but I'm gonna bring them inside. Let's see here. All right. I hope you all are doing well. Let's see here. Yeah, I forgot to see where actually I saved these characters. Oh, yes, that's right. I saved them on the desktop. Okay. Um, okay. One of the things that I really do love about Adobe Character Animator is how fast it is, and I can actually break this thing down faster, figuring out where things belong, which is you need to test your stuff. You need to test your rigs, so that way you know what the character is looking good or not, whether or not the rig looks right. Okay, I've just imported, so hopefully you can see this on on your end. Hopefully you can see that I just brought this in over here to the left. It says Christie rig. Okay. We're going to bring it down here, okay? And now she's going to start talking. Look at that. All right, let's move her a little bit. Turn off my little character. Uh-oh, the eyes. You see this? You see how the eyes got disconnected? Uh-oh, how did that happen? That's because the eyes are not attached to the head. Okay, I thought that might be a problem, and we're gonna fix that. Okay, so let's see how we can fix that real quick. So let's cut back over here. This is actually the best part about showing how the process works. So let's cut back over here. All right, so how do we get these eyes back on her head? I'm going to cut back over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go back inside Adobe Illustrator. Okay, this is also why I love this tool. Let's see here, turn on Adobe Illustrator, cut across. Okay, all right, so the eyes are right here. What we need to do is we need to bring them inside the head. Okay, and once you bring them inside the head, this should update. So let's see here. You see how the eyes are moving all kind of funky? Let me save real quick. So it's really layer order is really important. Let's bring it to Adobe Character Animator, and then look at that, we fixed it. So if you were wondering if something gets detached, oh no, where that's supposed to be? Let's go back over here. I'm actually going to go back to Adobe Character Animator, and I'm going to turn off Illustrator. So okay, so if you're ever worried about what happened to your eyes, oh no, the character's eyes, they disappeared. It's because they are inside a head layer. So the head layer, they keep everything all detached. Okay, so this is fun. Now we're just gonna slightly adjust this for just a moment, just make sure the lips look where they belong. Turn them all on. Let's cut across. Cut over here to Illustrator. Okay, cut to Illustrator. We're gonna bring them all on real quick. Make sure you lock all the layers. Okay, so lock everything else. Select this. Zoom in real quick. Kind of put them underneath the nose so they kind of like right there. Okay, save this. When we save it here, okay, when we save this, then I have to cut over to Adobe Character Animator. So when I cut over to Adobe Character Animator, you may or may not see this. This is actually really cool. Let me go here. it updates. You may have just saw that updates. So it doesn't actually move until you, this is the crazy thing. It does not update until you click on Adobe Character Animator. So if you've made an update, wait till you click on Adobe Character Animator. So now we're good. Okay. Now let's turn this Christie character off, okay? Because we're going to bounce back in and we're going to make Bronte's character, see what we can do with Bronte, make sure she looks right, and then we're going to do the auditions for both Abby Townson and for well, and I believe for Rachel Hansen. So those are the other two people. We're going to do voices for these two characters. And then we're going to call it a wonderful day and see you folks on Wednesday, which is going to get really wacky. And my goal is to have all these done for you so that we'll just be doing a whole stream of just me showing you character auditions and other wacky fun stuff. All right, let's get back to this. Okay, so turn this over to Illustrator. All right, let's do this. Okay, now we get this. We're having a good time. Oh yeah, that's right. I want to turn this bug off. So I'm going to go back inside to Adobe Character Animator. I'm going to turn Christie off, and I'm going to turn my head back on. So okay, now we see me again. All right, that's great. This is really what the whole point I was trying to do. Okay, so let's save this. Let's go over to Bronte. Bronte doesn't quite look right. I'm trying to wonder why she doesn't look right. Um, all right, Bronte. Let's see here. Let's stretch her image out. Does her face look like it's scaling right? I hope so. All right. All right. She's a kind of big old worm. So because she's a big old worm, her head is going to look positioned quite differently than the other characters. So I'm going to try to get a decent adjustment right around here. Copy this as a reference. Remember, we always want to reference. Um, and she doesn't have an outline stroke like Kafka does right here. So that does make her character look a little bit different, almost, almost like a piece of chewing gum. Let's get in real close, okay? Real close. All right, let's delete that. Okay, we got a reference here. Okay, now let's bring this character down here. She's now on the same layer as Kafka. All right, so cancel. Unlock this and bring her inside the head layer. Okay, all right, let's delete. Oops, my bad. Let's delete Kafka. Bring her down here. Now we're going to do another shift, Command Shift or Shift O. I'm using on a Mac, so I apologize if I'm incorrect on the proper PC or when I don't mean PC as in politically correct. I mean PC as in proper whatever it is that you're using for a Windows computer. All right, let's see here. Oh goodness, you know what? I realized this may not be. This is not a vector. Haha, that's actually really great that we got into this problem here. And I'm trying to wonder why she's not a vector. This may be because I copied her from a different tool. Let's see here. Da, da, da. Let's see here. Let's bring in here. Let's look up one of the previous Bronte. Just search it real quick. We're just gonna find it because this is part of the process, right? Bronte lineup. I thought I had this tool set up, but sometimes I move things about and I make a bit of a mess, and I'm not trying to, but I just do. Okay, let's do this right here. Okay, Bronte, where are you, babe? Let's see here. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. So you can see these are the proper things. I may have accidentally copied and pasted this from another time and then forgot all about it. And my goodness, you know what? You know how many times that happens as a creative? You do this all the time. So when people make mistakes and they try to hide them, it actually bothers me. I have a little short story, and I'll tell the short story because I learned this in art school, and I'm not trying to say that this is altogether true. It's just something I heard, and I like it because it has sort of a semblance to how I feel about it as a creative. So their story goes like this, and I'll just kind of zoom in for a moment just to tell you, but I'll get back to doing the designs. So there's a story that goes a long time ago. The artist Michelangelo, who was famous for painting the Sistine Chapel, not the 16, the Sistine. Sistine. I know I used to say 16 all the time, just because I was incorrect. All right, so outline stroke. Okay, we're gonna make her larger. So you see how she looks correct now. If you may have noticed, let's see if I can make it this really, really big so you can see how obvious this mistake is. All right, look in real close. Okay, make sure that this is big enough on my tool. You see how these edges are feathered? These feathered edges right here? That's because this is not a vector. This is a bitmap. Okay, I thought this was um, a vector. And that's probably the one real drawback of having a really nice Apple monitor. I know it's the silliest, most silly thing I could ever complain about. But you see this? This here, just so you know this here is like this little feathered area is because it's not vector. This is a bitmap. I must have just accidentally grabbed a reference image. I don't know why I did, but I did. Okay, that's okay. Um, so nonetheless, uh, I gotta fix this. Okay. All right. Um, oh yeah, the difference between vectors and bitmaps is that bitmaps are made up of pixels, and that's like what you use for like Photoshop or classic drawing tools. But vectors are used through intelligent math, so they look good no matter what scale they are. So that's why I like vectors. I prefer vectors. I heard a rumor years ago that they were going to make vector video that would go for endlessly look good. But who knows if that'll ever happen. Okay, so back to my story, why I like to show you my mistakes. Okay, there was that Michelangelo who designed the Sistine Chapel. Okay, um, he was notorious, according to legend, he was notorious for uh, pretending like he did like perfect work. Okay, and what I mean is like he would hide his sketchbook. The story goes that he would hide his sketchbook. Why is this not? Oh, it's because this is not on the right correct layer. See, again, we're showing our mistakes. No problem. All right. All right. Yeah, the mouth is wildly off. So it was a story that goes that he used to hide his sketchbook, and that Michelangelo would pretend like all of his ideas were just perfectly done, constructed as he would present them. And you know, if you are an artist and you see someone who does that sort of nonsense, you get very irritated. I get irritated with people who pretend like they have no mistakes. Um, it's not honest, and it's definitely discouraging to other artists when people see that you're just doing it perfectly, um, which I just feel like that's not integrity is important. And a lot of people don't have integrity. Um, I do, probably to a fault, but at the same time, I'd rather be that person. And so you want to show, and so anyway, so yeah, so it gets a little more interesting after that. So things go, as the legend goes, Michelangelo um, and Leonardo da Vinci. So one of my absolute favorites. Oddly enough, my two favorite artists of all time are Italian. Um, like actually, Michelangelo and Pablo Picasso are Italian. Leonardo da Vinci and Pablo Picasso are one of my two favorite artists. So, anyways, Michelangelo. So, all your favorite Ninja Turtles, right? All your favorite Ninja Turtles uh, were named after these brilliant Renaissance artists. So, when Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci were working together, or somehow they knew each other well enough that they got into a fight. They got in some sort of dispute about something or another. I don't know what it was. No one probably knows what it was, but that created such a sharp enough conflict that um, Leonardo da Vinci, I believe, as the story goes, he broke Michelangelo's nose. He broke his nose, and there was this whole thing about how Michelangelo used to pretend like his drawings were fully complete. And he would pretend like, hey, that was all it ever was. It was always there. It was just I had to find it, and that kind of silliness. That was his style. Okay, I'm going to adjust her lips later because yeah, you see how these little roundest lips. I feel like I want to adjust them in a more intelligent fashion a little bit later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these. I'm going to just delete this for now. And so this is okay. It's not as feminine as I'd like it to be. And again, when I talk about femininity, I'm never trying to disparage these gender normatives or anything like that. I'm just trying to show you. The point is that this is a worm. Worms are just worms, and these are cartoon characters. Okay, so here we go. Not too bad. Let's bring Bronte in. Let's go. So we're going to save her. Oh, we're going to cut across. We're going to go. One second. Let me cut you over to the other scene. Add Adobe Character Animator. Cut across. Now, go to Import. So let's go to Import, File, import. Oh goodness, where is she? She's not saved yet. Oh, and the other thing is, when you're saving in the cloud, remember when you're saving in the cloud that sometimes your files can take a little bit to pop into where they're supposed to. So let's go here real quick. Let's try this one more time. Let's see if I can import her. Sign, excellent. Okay, and she's going to be right up here. Watch this. Here he goes. I'm going to be a talking worm in just a moment. So I'm going to turn myself off. Turn off. I'm going to disappear. Don't get scared. So here I go. I disappear. Uh, Bronte is going to pop on the screen. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is a giant worm. She is a giant worm. Let's make her a little smaller. So let me show you how you do that. Remember, we bring this over here. We have transform and change the scale right now. Turn her down a little bit, right? Turn down this worm just a little bit. But what I do love about this worm is that this worm bends really well. Like, look how great this is. This is fantastic. You know what? Let me just have fun with this character for just a moment. Okay, like just a talking worm. How great is this? Don't you just love this tool? How the magic that you can, as long as you design your characters in such a way. And we really have just begun. We've scratched the surface because this takes a long time to develop. And you think about colors and stuff like that you want. So, all right, let me fix the mouth because the mouth is not high enough on her face. So I'm going to cut it back over, put the mouth a little higher on her face, and then we're going to do some lovely auditions of both Abby Townson and Rachel Hansen. I believe Abby's reading for. I believe she's reading for Christy. We'll find out. My mind gets all muddled, maybe because I'm just need some sleep. All right, let's get back over to Adobe Illustrator. So, kind of cut you here. Turn this off and cut back to Adobe Illustrator. All right, let's bring this mouth up. So what you have to do is make sure you select all your layers, okay? And lock anything that you don't want to move, okay? So we're gonna select, that's Command A. I'm only telling you the Mac codes because I think they're Control. I think it's slightly different. Now, if we wanted to put her mouth behind her glasses, which I think would look really nice, I'm not just by any means saying this wouldn't work. It actually would probably look really nice. We could it would probably give, let's see where we can do that. Let's just take her glasses. Okay, so Control G, C, delete it. Okay, let's do another layer. Let's call it glasses. And then Shift Command V. So you want to command in, or you want to copy in place. And let's put that right here. And that way this will allow us to move her mouth. Let's lock that real quick. I hope you can see this well on your side. So we're going to lock that real quick. And then we're going to go here, lock the head. And then we're just going to put that like, there we go, just a little bit behind the glasses. You know what that does? It gives that sense of depth of field. It's a longer stream, but I have a little bit of time, and I wanted to kind of just share it. You have a little bit more depth of field now. Like I do think that is the difference between cinematic productions and perhaps more lower budget films. So we're going to save this. Now remember, when we save this, I'm going to bounce over to Adobe Character Animator. So once I do, okay, let me bounce over to Adobe Character Animator. What's going to happen is I have not selected Adobe Character Animator. Okay, when I click on the software, it's going to pop up this little automatic feed. Look, and it did. Now she's going to update. Now look, see how her mouth is a little bit behind her glasses? And it looks so much better. Now it just gives a little bit of depth of field. It makes the character seem a little bit more alive. All right, this is wonderful. Okay, well, thank you so much. Here we go. Now, the last two things we're going to do is we're going to bring in voice actors. So I'm going to turn on My Silly Little Head. I'm going to turn off Bronte. Turn on My Silly Little Head. Okay, now let's bring in, let's go File, Import. I'm going to bring in some audio. I'm going to Abby Townson, and she's going to read for Christy. Okay, so we have Abby's voice, so let's bring in Abby. All right, so let's just make for fun. Let's have Abby's voice come down here, and then let's just have her read. All right, let's have her read for my head. I think that'd be fun. Let's be silly. All right, here we go. Abby's lovely voice. All right, there we go.
Kafka, who are your new friends? Where could that treasure be? All right, man and lady. The map is in that book. Let's open it on my mark. Heave! Kafka, who are your new friends? Where could that treasure be? All right, men and lady, the map is in that book. Let's open it on my mark. Heave!
Okay. Oh, she has such a charming voice. My goodness, I really love her voice. She did a great job. I wanted to just kind of take a look at a couple of things right here. Just get rid of some of these extra files so there's not all this other stuff kind of clumsy in here. There are some things that are not quite working right. Let me turn my mouth back on my character. Okay. So there are some things that are like her voice. She has such a charming voice. And of course, I had her read for me, my head. That's going to be silly. But so if we talked about this in the past, when we do those lip sync, okay, it does have a tendency to need to be adjusted. Okay, so let's bring in. Remember, she's reading for Christy. Let's show Christy. I'm going to turn off my character's head. Okay, all right, here we go. I'm going to go here. I'm going to click on. I click on Christy's live. Okay, and Abigail. We're going to do this one more time. Hopefully, this will look a little bit smoother. I want to click on this rig because one of the things I don't like about this rig is that I feel that you cannot see uh, the audition quite. Why? There we go. There we go. Put her in the center screen. So much nicer. Make it a little bit larger so you can cut. Nope, nope, that's not going to be. That's too large. All right. All right, let's do this one more time. Timeline. Sync. Lip sync take from scene audio. Processing. Here we go.
Kafka, who are your new friends? Where could that treasure be? All right, men and lady, the map is in that book. Let's open it on my mark. Heave! Kafka, who are your new friends? Where could that treasure be? All right, men and lady, the map is in that book. Let's open it on my mark. Heave!
Okay, and so what we saw here is some artifacts actually, some artifacts I really do not care for. And this is nothing to do with her wonderful take. But some of the artifacts is when she was saying the word mark, you couldn't see uh, the lips moving, and that means I need to adjust that. I need to go in here, and this is sort of remember we showed this last week. We talked about the visamines or whatever they call it. It allows us here. Let's move this over. So when her mouth is supposed to move, we can adjust that down here. Let me see. I'll just bring this up a little bit. So it creates these little cuts over here. So we can actually move that timing. So I will need to do that, especially with her voice, because her voice is so sweet. Um, well, thank you so much, Christy. This is wonderful. I'm going to well, we're gonna sweeten this before we send this over to her because this is not portfolio quality yet. All right, let's do our last one. Thank you, Abigail. That is such a wonderful audition. We have much more of yours to showcase, and we'll also showcase your photo as well. And when we're doing this is just our last one. We're almost done with rigging all the characters, so that way I'll just be able to show a whole stream of just voice actors. All right, let's delete this. Okay, and I'm going to delete this rig. I'm going to turn on my old goofy rig. All right, let's do this real quick. So now I'm back here. Now, okay, we have our last audition. We're going to do Rachel Hansen, and we're not going to have her read for My Silly Face. That would be that we've already done this. All right, so we're going to go import, and we're going to go down to Rachel Hansen. All right, and we're going to bring this in. Okay, so Rachel's in here. All right, we have Rachel's voice. We're going to bring it down below, and I'm going to disappear for just a moment. I'm going to turn off my head, my mouth, and we're going to turn on Bronte, and then I'm going to be quiet, okay?
Rachel Hansen, reading for Bronte. What a great idea, Kafka. Oh no. What is he doing now? A fearsome creature with long tentacles, rows of teeth, long horns, and...
Okay. Now, one thing that I want to adjust here is that because this little off frame, let's get this back in frame, and let's have you listen to her one more time. And I want to bring this in just a little bit more. Rachel did a wonderful job. She has such a like. There's the perfect motherly voice that she has going on here. All right, let's bring here scale this up a little bit because we have the worm, it's a little tiny. All right, and remember we can move our position X and Y, and we can move the such things. So I'm going to give her a little bit more in frame. All right. And action.
Rachel Hansen, reading for Bronte. What a great idea, Kafka. Oh no. What is he doing now? A fearsome creature with long tentacles, rows of teeth, long horns, and
That snort is fantastic. My goodness, that sounds wonderful. Rachel has a really just wonderful Hollywood voice. I love her voice. It's just so great. There's so much talent that's been honestly, I don't even know where to begin. This is so wonderful. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, everyone, for being part of our stream. We've exploded. Just a few folks have not realized we're at 35,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is just blows my mind. And I want to thank you all. We're still giving away birthday animations. You just got to sign up. Where I'm going to give away birthday animations up until we get to 50,000 subscribers. So all you got to do is sign up for our newsletter. Let me cut over so you can just see my silly face. So what we're going to be doing. So again, thank you, Rachel, thank you, Abby, thank you, all you wonderful voice actors. We've finished rigging all the voices. Okay, so we are going to be just doing straight auditions the next time I show you the stuff. No more behind the lip rigs. So we'll just be doing that. We'll be perfecting the auditions as well with other things, but nonetheless, we're done with that. We're going to be just showing everyone's beautiful work. But I also want to say we gave away on Friday was a birthday giveaway. Since we surpassed our 30,000 subscribers, for our new giveaway, okay, our new giveaway is this. If you have a friend or family member who has a birthday coming out, please sign up for our giveaway. Say, hey, just if you're not already on our newsletter, sign up and give someone that you love their birthday so I can try to get them an animation out and I'll send it out to them and I'll say happy birthday. If you are on our newsletter, then please refill it back out. Go back on our website, add in your email and say, hey, my son's birthday is or my daughter's birthday is. And if it's within the next 3 to 4 weeks, please let me know because let's do it. We'll try to get anyone in that's in April or the first week or two of May. And then we'll just try to, see where that goes. If people like that, then we'll keep doing it. So thank you so much again for being a part of this community. You all are just wonderful, wonderful people. I just really can't express fully how humbled I am by everyone in this community, how we're building Inklings from the ground up and everyone's here. I thank you all again. We're just looking forward to just continue to grow. And really from here on out, you'll just be seeing animation come to life. And I'm happy that you're here. I feel truly, truly blessed. So I want to say, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions, any comments, things you'd like to see on the stream. We're going to see you all on Wednesday. And I just pray that you have a blessed, blessed, blessed day. You all take care.